بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم أحبتي طلبة الصف الثاني المتوسط شعبة جيم، في درسنا الأول من دروس مادة الرياضيات والتي تبث على منصة كلاسيرا. درسنا هذا اليوم سيكون حول real numbers. The real numbers أو الأعداد الحقيقية. Before we starting to learn what is mean the real number, we have to learn what is the concept of rational number. The rational number, we are previously learning it. So, as examples, every fractional number or every ratio have integers in numerator and denominator is a rational number. As show the example, it's 1 by 2. 1 by 2. This ratio have two integers, 1 and 2. So this ratio is a rational number, which is called fractional number. Next exam, it is a finite decimal number. What is mean the finite decimal number? It is mean finite digits after the point. Finite digits after the point. So this number 4.75 have only two digits after the point, 7 and 5. This means this decimal number is finite. This kind of decimal number is also called rational number. Another example of finite decimal number, it is the root of 1.69, which is equal to 1.3. And 1.3 is a finite decimal number because it is have only one digit after the point, so it is finite decimal number, and this leads to is a rational number. And finally, the recurring decimal number. This example 2.166666, it is a recurring decimal number because we can write it as 2.16 and put a line over 6, so it is recurring decimal number, and this kind of number, it is also called rational number. Now, what is mean irrational number, or what is the concept of irrational number? The first example of irrational number is a fractional number, but this ratio, one of them or all them, it is not integers. The root of 3 here, it is not integer, so this means this ratio or this fractional number, it is not rational number, which is mean it is irrational number because one of them, it is not integer. The root of 3, it is not integer. And the second kind of irrational number is infinite decimal number. This example, it's 4.1484720483. This is the digits after the points are infinite. So this number is called infinite decimal number, which is mean it is irrational number. Another example of infinite decimal number is pi. Pi is equal to 31.4159265, which is mean it is infinite decimal number because the digits after the point is infinite. Also, the root of 5, it's equal to 2.2360679, which is mean infinite decimal number. All these numbers, it's called irrational number. So what is mean real number? You have been learned that the rational number have a symbol q that can be written in form of a fraction or finite decimal numbers or recurring decimal number. And irrational numbers have a symbol h, capital H, are written as infinite and not recurring decimal number. So the real number have a symbol r, is consist of the union of the rational numbers q and the set of irrational number h. That means r is equal to q union with h. If we are make a comparing between rational numbers and irrational numbers, we show that as examples the fractional number 1 by 2 is the ratio of two integers. The ratio of two integers, 1 is integer and 2 is also integer. But the fractional number root of 3 divided by 2 have the root of 3 is not integer, which is mean this ratio or fractional number, it is not a rational number. It is called irrational number. The second example is about the recurring decimal number. 2.1666 is equal to 2.16 have a line over the 6, which is mean 6 is repeated infinite. So this recurring decimal number is called rational number. But the pi, which is equal to 3.1514159265, is infinite decimal number, which is mean it is irrational number. The root of 1.69 is equal to 1.3, which is mean it is finite decimal number, because there is only one digit after the point, which is mean it is rational number. But the root of 5 is equal to 2.2360679. It is infinite decimal number, which is mean it is irrational numbers. But all these numbers. All these numbers is are real numbers. All these numbers are real numbers because of the real number is the union between the rational number and irrational number. So we have a result. Every fractional number of integers and finite decimal number and recurring decimal number, all them are rational number, and every fractional number and infinite decimal number, all them are irrational number, and every rational number is a real number, and every irrational number is also real number. Important notes: every ratio divided by 0 is not a real number, and every square root of negative number is not a real number. Example: classify the number whether it is a rational number or irrational number or unreal number. The first example is the root of 9. We know that the root of 9 is equal to 3, and 3 is a rational number. This means 3 is a real number, and this means the root of 9 is a rational number and real number. Second example is the root of 8. The root of 8, if we are use the calculator, the root of 8 is equal to 2.82842027, sorry, and this is infinite decimal number, which is mean it is irrational number, but it is also called a real number. The third example is the root of 4 divided by 9. We know that the root of 4 is equal to 2, and the root of 9 is equal to 3, and 2 by 3, this fractional number, it is a ratio of integer 2 and 3, which is mean it is a rational number, and every rational number is a real number. Four by 0. Here this fractional number or this ratio, it is divided by 0, and we show that every ratio divided by 0, it is not a real number. The root of minus 17. Here it is a root of a negative number, root of a negative number, and every square root of a negative number is not a real number. Minus root square or square root of 2, it's equal to minus the square root of 2, it is 1.414213. This is infinite decimal number, so it is irrational number, and it is also a real number because every irrational number is a real number. 10 by 3. If we are use the calculator, we can find 10 by 3 is equal to 3.33333, and it is equal to 3.3. This number is recurring decimal number, and every recurring decimal number is a rational number, and every rational number is a real number. Minus 3 integer and 4 by 10, it is equal to minus 3.4. This number is a finite decimal number, and every finite decimal number is a rational number, and every rational number is a real number.